you really can't beat growing your own fruit and veggies at home. And with some varieties like oranges, for instance, it's pretty obvious when they're ripe or when they're not. But for a lot of varieties, you just think, I don't know, should I pick it now or later? So now we're running through a few of the varieties and what you need to know before you pick. Well, these obviously enough are bananas. I think most people would probably know when to pick them. I suppose you pick them at about this stage when they've still got a little bit of green on them, but they're starting to yellow. They will ripen obviously very well in the kitchen, so you don't have to worry too much. Do you pick the whole stalk? Well, you can, but at home, you're probably best to just harvest them hand by hand. They harvest from the top down, and so as each little group tends to ripen, if there's too many, give them to neighbours or whatever, basically just chop them off. The only thing you do need to know is the actual banana plant, the palmish looking thing that produces the fruit, will die after the fruit has been harvested. So the best thing is, once you've got all the bananas off that particular plant, chop it down, and then all the growth will go into the new suckers that come up around it, which were the ones that will produce fruit in the future. One other fascinating thing with bananas is you can ripen them very quickly if you want to. Ripe bananas release ethylene, which is a plant hormone. So if these were a little bit riper, but even as they are, if you put these in a plastic bag with these, or even a paper bag is fine, the ethylene from the yellow ones will speed up the ripening of the green ones. Even a ripe apple will produce ethylene and help basically green bananas to ripen quickly. Pears are picked when they're on the turn, when they're turning from that greenish colour and starting to develop a bit of the yellow of ripening. Now, the good oil is this. Pick them all, put them in the crisper where they will keep for, quite some couple of weeks or whatever, maybe longer, depending on what time you pick them at. Then as you want some to ripen, pull them out of the crisper of the fridge, put them in the fruit bowl, and they should ripen within a day or so, and they're much more juicy and lovely then. But they're picked just before they're ripe. When a mango's ripe, well, basically you pick mangoes when they're still fairly firm on the plant, but the colour is sort of showing ripeness. Now, what does that mean? Well, obviously they're green when they're immature. As they become ripe, they tend to go a yellowish green, then yellowish with a little bit of orange and perhaps a little bit of red through them. It varies from variety to variety, but nonetheless, you should know the colour of your variety. Once that colour is showing, they are ready to pick. Pawpaws? Well, pawpaws are lovely, almost stately sort of trees, a bit like a palm tree in a sense. They have the bare stem. You wait till they colour and then you pick them. The only thing I'd suggest is in cooler weather, when they may go off a bit more quickly, once they start to go yellow, you might pick them. But normally you'd wait for a little bit more flare of colour on them before you actually pick pawpaws from the tree.